Good morning, students. Let us have a look on the very important point is the IT Act 2000. What does mean by IT Act 2000? Let us have an introduction of this point. Information technology is one of the important law relating to Indian cyber laws. It had passed in Indian Parliament in 2000. It consists of 13 chapters and 4 schedules, and this act is helpful to promote business with the help of internet. It also set of rules and regulations which apply on any electronic business transactions. Due to increasing crime in cyberspace, Government of India understood the problems of internet user, and for safeguarding the interest of internet users this act was made. Now, what will be the objective of this act? It will be suitably amend existing laws in India to facilitate e-commerce. It provide legal recognition of electronic records and digital signatures. It also provide a legal recognition to the transaction carried out by means of EDI and other means of electronic communication. To provide legal recognition to business contacts and creation of rights and obligations through electronic media. It established a regulatory body to supervise the certifying authorities issuing digital signature certificates, to create a civil and criminal liabilities for contravention of the provision of the act, and to prevent a misuse of the e-business transaction. The basic important objective of IT acts to facilitate e-governance and to encourage the use and acceptance of electronic records and digital signatures in government offices and agencies. Let us have a discuss the scope of IT Act. Every electronic information is under the scope of IT Act 2000. But above listed is the transaction is not under IT Act. Information Technology Act 2000 is not applicable on the attestation or creating trust via electronic way. Physical attestation is must. IT Act 2000 is not applicable on the attestation for making will of anybody. Physical attestation by two witnesses is must. A contract of sale of any immovable property and attestation for giving a power of attorney of property is not possible via electronic record. So why IT Act 2000 is needed? Crime is no longer limited to space, time, or a group of people. Cyberspace creates a moral, civil, and criminal wrongs. Basically, there are two important reasons. One is the national reason, and second one is the international reason. For national reasons, nowadays increasing a use of ICTs in business transaction and entering into contracts, and there is no any legal protection, and for that we need the IT Act. And if you see the international reason, international trade through electronic means, it adopted a model law on electronic commerce in 1996, and the General Assembly of the United Nations, it is also in 31st January 1997, and Worldwide Trade Organization that we called as a WTO, electronic media for transactions. So IT as act is required or needed as a national and international reasons. In this IT Act, different chapters has been included. We see that chapters one by one. In chapter 2nd, any contract which is done by subscriber, if he signs the electronic agreement by digital signature, then it will be valid. In chapter 3 explains the detail that all electronic records of government are acceptable unless any other law has any rules regarding written or printed record. IT Act Chapter 4 deals with the receipts or acknowledgement of any electronic record, and every electronic record has any proof that is called receipt, and it should be in the hand who records electronic way. In Chapter 4, Powers to organization for securing the electronic records and secure digital signature. They can secure by applying any new verification system. Chapter 6 deals with the states that Government of India will appoint controller of certifying authorities and he will control all activities of certifying authorities. Certifying authority is that authority who issues digital signature certificate for authentication. In chapter 6, that chapter deals with the duties and certifying authority that particular received acknowledgement of any record, every electronic record that has a proof, and it should specify duties of certifying authority is given, and certifying authority will issue a digital signature certification after getting rupees 25,000. If it is against public interest, then CA can suspend the digital signature certificate. In particular, chapter 9, it is for controlling cybercrime. Government can appoint Cyber Regulation Advisory Committee who will check all cybercrime relating to publishing others' information. If any fault is done by anybody, he will be responsible for paying rupees 2 lakh, or he can get punishment of 3 years living in jail, or both prison and penalty can be given to cyber criminal. And in chapter 12, policy officers have also power to investigate dangerous cybercrime under IPC 1860, Indian Evidence Act 1872 and RBI Act 1934. So such types of chapters and related recommendation has been right in the IT Act 2000. Now let us have a look on advantages of IT Act 2000. It is helpful to promote the e-commerce activity, all type of business transaction. It enhance the corporate business, high penalty for the cyber crime, so it will be helpful for the reduce the cyber crime. And filling an online form is also doing with the help of this IT Act 2000. Now, what are the different types of cyber crimes? We are discussing such types of cyber crimes number of times. Let us have a look on these are the cyber crimes included in the IT Act. Cyber terrorism, cyber pornography, defamation, cyber stacking, sale of illegal articles, narcotics, weapons, wildlife, online gambling, intellectual property crimes, email spoofing, forgery, phishing, credit card frauds. All these types of crimes are crime against the government, crime against the person, crime against the property. All these crimes are included in the IT Act 2000. IT Act also provide the provision under cybercrime provisions under the IT Act 2000. Different offenses and relevant sanctions has been discussed in the IT Act. Before that, we are seeing some cyber crimes and related which are included in which section. Now first will be the tampering with computer source documents. That particular crime has been included in the section 65, and if anybody has this offense, then imprisonment up to 3 years or with a fine which may be extended up to 2 lakh rupees, or with both punishment has been given on this crime. Hacking with computer system, data alteration, that will be in a particular section 66, same 2 lakh rupees fine, and same punishment has been given on this offense. Then publishing obscure information, here is again the fine has been given 3 years punishment, and fine has been given for this offense. Unauthorized access to protected system, that will be also included here for the particular punishment of the people. It will be included in the section 70. Breach of confidentiality and privacy has been included in the section 72, and publishing false digital signature certificate, that offense has included in section 73. So all these are the cybercrime provisions under IT Act 2000, and that offenses have a proper punishment under these sections. Now let us have a discuss the civil offenses under the IT Act 2000. Here is the different sections has been included: 43, 44, 45, 65, 66, and related offense. We are just look on the few offenses, that is a damage to computer system. That offense will be punished as a compensation to the tune of rupees 1 crore to the affected person. For failing to furnish any document written on report to the controller or the certifying authority, it will be penalty not exceeded 1,50,000 rupees for each such a failure. So such a types of sections and different offences and what type of punishment has been given under this IT Act is listed above. Similar to that, different another section was there, 66D, 66E, 66F, 67, in 67 under 67A, B, C. Such a types of sections are also included in the IT Act. Like suppose for not maintaining books of account or record in any business, for that penalty not exceeded 10,000 rupees for every day during which the failure continues. Means such a type of punishment has been given in the IT Act. Then some of the amendments in IT Act 2000 has been performed. Let us have a look on that amendments. First amendments in IT Act 2000 is electronic signatures has been introduced. With the passage of the IT Act 2008, India has become a technological neutral due to adoption of electronic signatures as a legally valid mode of executing signatures. This includes digital signatures as one of the mode of signature and is far broader in ambit, covering biometrics and other new forms of creating electronic signature. So first important amendment is the electronic signature has been introduced. Second will be the particular corporate responsibility introduced in section 43A. In this section, corporate bodies handling a sensitive personal information or data in a computer resources are under an obligation to ensure adoption of reasonably secure practices and to maintain its secrecy, failing which they may be liable to pay damages. Also, there is no limit to the amount of compensation that may be awarded by virtue of this section. Third amendment is that legal validity of electronic documents re-emphasized. Two new sections such as 7A and 10A in the Amendment Act reinforce the equivalence of paper-based documents to electronic documents. Section 7A in the Amendment Act makes audit of electronic documents also necessary wherever paper-based documents are required to be audited by law. Section 10A confers legal validity and enforceability on contracts formed through electronic means. Fourth amendment is new cybercrimes as a offense under Amendment Act. Many cybercrimes for which no express provisions existed in the IT Act 2000 now stand included by the IT Act 2008. Sending of offensive or false messages, it will be in section 66A. Receiving stolen computer resources is in section 66B. Identity theft in section 66C. Cheating by personation section 66D. Violation of privacy section 66E. A new offense of cyber terrorism is added in section 66F, which prescribes punishment that may extend to imprisonment for life. In section 69, power of the controller to intercept amended. It deals with power of controller to intercept information being transmitted through a computer resource when necessary in national interest is amended by section 69. In fact, the power vests now with the central government or state government that empowers it to appoint for reasons in writing any agency to intercept, monitor, decrypt any information generated, transmitted, or it will be received or stored in any computer resources. Sixth amendment is power to block unlawful websites should be exercised with a caution. Section 69A has been inserted in the IT Act by the amendments in 2008 and gives power to central government or any authorized officer to direct any agency or intermediary to block websites in special circumstances as applicable in particular section 69. Section 69b added to confer power to collect, monitor traffic the particular data. In Amendment 7 is for the liability of intermediary amended. The amended section 79 states that the intermediaries shall not be liable for any third party information if it is only providing access to a communication system over which information made available by third party is transmitted or temporarily stored or hosted, or the intermediary does not initiate the transmission. Select the receiver and select or modify the information contained in the transmission. So all these are the amendment facilities. 7 different amendment has been discussed in the IT Act 2000. You need to remember all these amendment for the basic requirement of this IT Act. So never forget all these 7 amendments. So let us I just conclude that rightly the Mahatma Gandhi has said that justice that love gives is a surrender. Justice that laws gives is a punishment. So IT Act 2000 is a basic need for controlling the cyber crime. So thank you very much for dealing with us, and let us have a like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.